Assalamu alaikum, dear students, and very good morning to all of you. We are learning class 9 science biology. In that, we are doing the revision, we are doing the solution for the question bank. Almost we had completed the solution for the MCQs, that is multiple choice questions, and I hope all the answers are clear to you with the options. Now, today, further, we are moving with the second section, section B, that is fill ups. Okay, so we are going for it. That solution for the question bank fill ups. Okay, so here one thing is mentioned to you, dear students, that questions 1 to 5, they are from chapter number 5, that is cell, the fundamental basic unit of life, and chapter questions 6 to 10 are from chapter 6, that is from tissues. So it is easy for you to get answers of that particular questions. Okay, so let's begin with it, dear students. We are moving with our first question or first fill ups. Okay, so our first fill up is dash is the structural and functional unit of life. Of course, you know, dear students, this answer very well. Then also, let's clear your doubt over here. Starting from the organism, any organism. Take an example of our body. Any organism or any body is made up with the organ system, right? And that organ system is made up with the different organs. Here the example is given with the digestive system. So the digestive system includes mouth, then salivary glands, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. So these all are the different organs of the one organ system, and one organ is made up with the tissues that we had learned in chapter number 6, and the tissues are made up with different kind of cell. So basically the final structural unit is what? Cell. And same here, the final functional unit of life is what? Cell. So answer of this fill up is cell. That cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Okay, the second fill up is cell wall of plant. Cell wall of plant, definitely we know that plants only having the cell walls, animal do not have the cell wall. Okay, so cell wall of plants is mainly made up of what? Cell wall of plant is mainly made up of what? So might be this image gives you the clear idea, dear students. Okay, this is one plant given to you, or you we can say a leaf. Okay, a leaf is made up with different kind of cells. Yes, a cell have a cell wall because it is a plant cell, and inside the cell all the organelles are the present, that this is the nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum. All the organelles are present inside the cell, but the cell is protected by the cell wall. Now this cell wall is made up of what? This cell wall is made up with the cellulose fibers. You can see this green color round structural, or we can say pole like structures over here. They are called cellulose fibers. Cellulose is a very complex carbohydrate, dear students. So remember one thing, the answer of our for this fill up is cellulose. That cell wall of plants is mainly made up of cellulose. Okay, I hope it is clear to you now. Okay, moving with the next fill up, that chromatin are made up of what? Okay, so here the first question should be clear to you, that what is chromatin? Yes, can you guess, dear students, what is chromatin? Yes, chromatin is the nuclear material which is present inside the nucleus. See over here, dear students, that this is one chromosome. Yes, the chromosome is made up of what? Chromosome is made up of chromatin. Chromatins are the single threads. Chromatin are the single threads which are bind together in the form of chromosome. So what is chromatin actually? That chromatin is a genetic material which comprising what? DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA, that is ribonucleic acid, and proteins, which result in the formation of chromosomes within the nucleus of eukaryotic organism and is termed as chromatin. So this is clear to you, dear students, and here our question is chromatin are made up of what? Means these single threads lipids are made up of what? So if we go further into this single thread, each single thread is converted into DNA, and inside the DNA proteins are present. So the answer of our this fill up is DNA and protein. That chromatin are made up of what? DNA and protein. Here many times students what they are doing actually, either they are sometimes only write down the DNA and sometimes they are only write down the protein, but actually the correct answer is what? DNA and protein both. So it should be clear to you, dear students, while writing the answer of this fill up, or either this ask in 1 mark question, that chromatin are made up of DNA and protein both. If you forget any one of the term over here, either you are forgetting DNA or either you are forgetting protein, that might be your half mark will you lose by you. So please be clear with you while writing the answer of this question, that chromatins are made up of DNA and protein both. Okay. The fourth fill-up is plasma membrane is made up of. So here the first question is, what is plasma membrane? So let's recall it, dear students, that each and every cell has its outer layer. Plant cell having the cell wall, but animal cell does not have has the cell wall. So it is cover up by, or it is layer up by, the plasma membrane. So here is the image of the plasma membrane. It is made up with the biphos. It is also called as biphospholipid layer. Bi means two, and phospholipids means lipid groups are attached with the phosphates. That is why it is called as phospholipids. Okay, so two layers of lipids are present and proteins are embedded in it. Getting, dear students? So plasma membrane is made up of what? Lipids and proteins, because proteins are embedded within the plasma membrane, and the layer of the plasma membrane is made up with the phospholipids, that is phosphate group is attached with the lipids. So answer of this fill ups is plasma membrane is made up of lipids and proteins. Here also so many times students either writing lipids and forget to write down about the protein. So please, while writing the answer of this fill up, always remember that the answer is that plasma membrane is made up of both lipids also and protein also. The next is the organisms which have only one cell present into their. Okay. The organisms which have only one cell present in their body are called as what? Of course, you know all the answers, dear students, that the organism which have only one cell into their body and all the functions are carried out by their one cell, that single cell only, all that organisms are called as unicellular organisms. That uni means one and cellular means cell, and organisms means organisms, that the organisms which have only one cell present into their body, they all are called as unicellular organisms. Examples are paramecium, amoeba, bacteria and yeast. The next is sixth is protective layer present in plant is called as what? Okay, when we were learning the plant tissue, we had taken one topic, that is protective tissue in plants. Okay, so each and every plant has the protective layer on it. That many times you have seen that the water which is falling down onto the leaves of the plant, the leaves cannot get that water. The water will remain on that leaves or will fall down from that leaves, because they have some waxy, some coating is present on that leaves which does not allow water to get inside the plant. Okay, so that layer is called as protective layer over here. Getting, dear student? But what that protective layer is called as, so this image will clear your idea, that first plant, as it is plant cell, so it having the cell wall, right? Inside the cell wall, the epidermal cells are present, and then after whatever the tissue is present, that tissue complexion is start. So remember, dear students, the protective layer which is present in plant, it is called as epidermal layer, or you can also write down epidermis. Both the answers are correct. Either it is called as epidermal layer or it is called as epidermis. And also I clear your idea that epi means up and derma means skin. That is the what is the upper layer or what is the outermost layer present on the skin, that is called as epidermis or epidermal layer. Okay, the seventh one, small openings present on leaves for gaseous exchange are called as this. Of course, we know that the leaf of the plant is called as kitchen of the cell, and how it gets that food, all that process we know. Yes, so here this is the image of an leaf. In that we can see over here the stomatas are present. Through that stomata, the oxygen and carbon dioxide gets entered inside the leaf, and oxygen will remove out from the leaves. So these small openings which are present of the leaves, you already get the idea. The answer is called as stomata. So remember, dear students, the small openings present on leaves for gaseous exchange are called as stomata. Here what do you mean by gaseous exchange, dear students? That carbon dioxide is required for the process of photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide get in, and after the completion of process, oxygen is removed out from the plant. So this is called as gaseous exchange, because carbon dioxide and oxygen, they both are gases. Okay, the next eighth one, dash chemical is present on bark of the plant for gaseous exchange. Okay, in our previous question number 7, we had discussed about the leaf, that on leaf the gaseous exchange occurs through the stomata, but here the question is on bark of the tree. Yes, that on actually the bark, the cells of the bark is dead cells. Okay, so through this bark, how through this dead cells it occurs this gaseous exchange? So one particular chemical, one special kind of chemical is present onto the bark of the tree, which is which is helping for the gaseous exchange on the bark of the tree. That in this image you can see, dear students, that this is the first is the epidermal layer. Actually this is slide under the microscope, in which you can easily see, and this is the chemical, the layer of the chemical you can see over here, and the name is called as suberin. So answer of this question is suberin. That which chemical is present on the bark of the tree? Suberin is present on the bark of the tree, which allows the bark for the gaseous exchange. The ninth one, thick waxy coating present in plants in dry habitat is called dash. Yes, of course, we had discussed that each and every plant has some kind of waxy coating present on it. But this waxy coating is depend, either it is thin or it is thick, depending on the type of the plants, that which kind of plant it is. For example, it is a normal terrestrial plant, that they have only a very small amount of small amount of waxy coating present on it. Whereas in the here the question is about the dry habitat plant. So actually dry habitat plants have so many adaptations within it. They do not have the leaves, they have the spiky structures, or we can say the spines. Okay, to reduce the amount of water, that you can see the adaptations over here, that the leaves in hot or dry environments may be adapted to reduce transpiration. Leaves have adaptation to reduce transpiration in dry or windy condition, and leaf reduce the spines with a waxy cuticle. But the main question here is what is the name of that thick waxy coating which is present in the dry habitat? So here also I am having one microscopic image. So in this microscopic image you can see this cuticle layer over here, the upper layer. Yes, so this is a protective tissue, and you can see in this image that it is very much thick. Okay, so this is called as cutin. So remember that thick waxy coating present in plants of which habitat? Plants in dry habitat, they are called as. Okay. The last fill up, that is stomata, are protected by. Now only we had discussed about the stomata, that stomata are the small openings which are responsible for the gaseous exchange during the process of photosynthesis, right, dear students? So now here we are talking about that stomata are protected by what? So this is the structure of this stomata, that this is a stomatal pore. through which gaseous exchange occur. Then outer wall, inner wall, epidermal cells, so many different labelings are given over here. But the main labeling which we have to discuss about over here, that is this guard cells. You can see the shape of the cells, they are kidney shaped cells. I'm doing the red outer lining over here so you can get the clear idea about that, dear students, that these two cells which have kidney-like shapes which are surrounding the stomatal pore, they are called as guard cells. And that is our question only, that stomata are protected by what? That stomata are protected by guard cells. So here I had completed all the 10 fill-ups with the answers and with the proper description that will clear. All the answers should be clear to you.